Well, it all started with my first course, Songs by Ear, but in fact, it started earlier than that. The first song that I heard that I was absolutely gobsmacked, I think, was from a friend when I was about 7 years old, and I was at her house, and she was playing on her piano Elise. I was absolutely spellbound, like heart out of my chest moment. I got her to play it about 3 or 4 times, and then I rushed back home to my house and tried to play it myself. Of course, I didn't get much further than the first passage. Then was all I managed to do. But I was super proud of myself for being able to do that. And luckily, it was easy enough to do that because of the small, it uses the smallest interval on the piano. So it was nice and easy for my little 7-year-old hands. But I was so proud of myself. And that really was the start of a lifelong love affair with playing by ear. Because it meant that I didn't have to wait for my piano teacher to decide that I was ready to play it. I can just play it anyway. And my piano teachers didn't really know what to do with it. I would try to show them what I had taught myself, and they'd be like, that's nice, but what have you done this week toward, your repertoire that you're practicing for your exams? It was very much focused on this classical curriculum, which, I wouldn't say was a bad thing because, I did need to be brought back to that focus. I was working towards exams and I didn't want to just, not do the thing that I was working towards and wanted to achieve. But I also wanted to do playing by ear as well, and I didn't really understand why I couldn't do both. But my teachers, bless them, they'd never been taught to play by ear. They hadn't developed that technique, and so they didn't know really what to do with it. And so they just sort of ignored it. So it was something that I developed in my own time. So eventually I came up when I've had a whole career in music and music publishing and music education. When I started Piano Picnic, for the first time, I decided to teach this skill that had not been taught to me and that I had had to go on this journey all independently. And for the rest of my career prior to this point, prior to 2016, I had been creating sheet music and books and resources, to teach people piano and to, and give people sheet music books and all of that jazz. But none of it was for the natural creative skills of playing by ear or improvising or anything like that. It was all about reading sheet music, playing repertoire. And that was it. And it was never fully aligned with how I felt about music. When I worked at the sheet music publisher in London, I didn't quite fit in. I wasn't I wasn't in my strength area because I was editing sheet music every day. But I felt as though I wasn't that person that just adored sheet music. I loved playing by ear. So when I started Piano Picnic, this was the first thing that I wanted to teach. And I started, trying to get out onto paper what it was that I did when I sat at the piano and learned a song by ear. Over the years, I'd just sort of done it naturally and gradually, had developed the things that I do, but I'd never really thought about what I'm actually doing in terms of steps and making a process. So that was what I came up with Songs by Ear for. And hundreds of people have done this course and learned the process of learning to play a song by ear step by step. And I'm super, super proud of that. But what I've had is a lot of people coming back to me saying, how do I get better at playing by ear? I've learned the process, thank you so much. I didn't know how to even begin. Now I have the process and I'm working songs out by ear, but the process takes quite a long time. How do I get better? And I was never going to repeat the phrase that, an adult said to me when I asked him when I was younger, oh my gosh, how do you play by ear like that? So amazing. And he just said to me, practice a lot. I'm a piano coach, so I'm not just going to say that. Obviously, practicing is important, training is important, but I'm going to provide you some ways to be able to train so that you're doing the right things. So we need to be doing ear training. And to master the skill, pianists need to train their ears to recognize more things. When we are, are kids, we learn the sounds of different objects and animals and things that make sounds. We recognize them, like we learn to recognize the sound of a dog barking. We recognize the sound of our parents' voice. We recognize the sound of a car zooming by. We teach ourselves to recognize these musical objects. So we can do the same thing with musical objects. The human ear is an incredible instrument in itself. The connections it makes automatically, we can already distinguish space, density, pitch, patterns, rhythms, distance, and even read emotions from the sounds that we hear. All that we need to do is direct that into a way where it's specifically about music, connected to the theory knowledge that we have. And then we're unlocking an extra level of playing by ear. So I want to invite you to come on this journey. I am doing a training about how to get to the next level of your active listening. And we're looking at the science of our hearing and how our ears work and how that connects to the different parts of the brain, so that we can understand that we already have an incredible organ, two incredible organs with our ear, and both our ears, or three. 2 ears and a brain. Oh my gosh, counting organs. So we really already have this equipment there. We just need to train it in terms of consciously consciously understanding what we're hearing in terms of music. Come to my coaching on active listening. Thank you so much for watching this video. And remember to play it like you mean it.